What it do, YouTube? It's your OG, Mr. Mont. Hopefully everybody's having a Merry Christmas. Uh, but, let's get right to it. As we all know, we have got some disappointing news about Jermell Charlo versus Tszyu. Jermell Charlo broke a couple of bones in his left hand. So his fight with Tszyu, I think it's been postponed. I don't think it's been canceled. I think it's been postponed. So don't look like we'll be getting that fight in January 29th. But Tony Harrison offered to step in for Jermell Charlo. So Tszyu don't have to sit on the shelf. I think he's already been out of the ring for a year or going on a year. I can't remember when his last fight was, which was against Terrell Goucher, where he defeated Terrell Goucher by unanimous decision. Tony Harrison volunteered to step in for Jermell Charlo and fight Tszyu. Now, what do I think about that fight? Basically, the same thing I think about Tszyu fighting Jermell Charlo. I think Jermell Charlo is going to knock Tszyu out whenever they fight, if they get a chance to fight. And I just think Tony Harrison is too skilled and too big for Tszyu. Tony Harrison is bigger than Jermell Charlo. Them guys are big 154 pounders. But Tony Harrison is a huge 154 pounder. He like 6'1", got a 76 and a half inch reach. And his boxing skills are off the chart. Whereas Tszyu is like 5'8", 5'8 and a half with a 72 inch reach. He got a pretty decent reach for his height. But, man, Tony Harrison knows how to use that 76 and a half inch reach to perfection. So if him and Tszyu were to fight, I just don't see Tszyu having any success in that fight unless he's really able to walk Tony Harrison down. But I think Tony Harrison if they were to fight, would just keep him on the end of that jab. Tony Harrison has pinpoint accuracy, and he got power. He was hitting Charlo with so many flush shots. Because he's willing to stand in there and fire those shots off with pinpoint accuracy. He'll stand there. That's why he got knocked out, because he put that laser on the target and he don't move until he lands his shots. But Charlo the type that'll he'll punch when you punch him, and that's why he knocked Tony Harrison out. And plus Charlo got hella power, man. But anyway, if I was Tszyu, I don't mind seeing the fight, but if Tszyu take that Tony Harrison fight, he just gonna box. He just gonna get outboxed. In my opinion, Tony Harrison is the best pure boxer in the 154-pound division. He's never, ever, I don't think he's ever been behind on the cards. Well, not his last fight, but the fight before that one, right after his pops had passed away, and he was being trained, just started being trained by his brother. He didn't look so hot, but again, his pops had just passed away, so they were trying to get in tune with each other. But he can't. His very next fight, you know, he basically put on a boxing clinic. You know, he has yet to be outboxed. Each of his losses had been by knockout. All fights that he was winning, he was winning. He was winning the last fight, or either up a round or two, on Charlo, and you know got careless, and Charlo knocked him out. Uh, in the fight before that, now I actually think Charlo won that first fight, not because of you know him just running away with it. It was basically he just Charlo. I think Charlo just outworked Tony Harrison, even though Tony Harrison was hitting him with the cleaner shots. But you know, like I said, Tony Harrison, he's not somebody that is easily outboxed. I don't really see anyone in the division that can actually outbox him. You know, he had very good defense when he wants to. It's when he stands in there and you know kind of start feeling himself is when he gets hit and gets his chin checked. But you know, as far as Tony Harrison and Tszyu, I don't think Tszyu can beat Tony Harrison. And you know, I don't know if I would take that fight if I was out with Tszyu. Now, as a fan, I would love to see that fight. But if I was his handlers, I wouldn't put him in there with Tony Harrison, because all that's gonna end up happening is we're gonna end up getting a Harrison Charlo 3, you know, which you know, I guess you know I ain't got a problem with that fight, but you know I done seen it, and honestly I thought Charlo won the first fight, and you know it's definitely he won the second fight. So, you know, I ain't that fight is not really pressing for me. But Tszyu, you know, I know Tony Harrison just tweeted that, or he posted it on Instagram or Twitter, I don't know, and you know said tag Tszyu. If that fight were to happen, I would watch it, but I would have to go with Tony Harrison, because of Tony Harrison's pure boxing skills. Tszyu is just one of those come forward fighter. He got some skill, but you know Tony Harrison is just too big and too skilled for Tszyu, in my opinion. But I'd be very interested in Tony Harrison fighting Fundora. I think that would be a good fight, you know. But you know, y'all just tell me what y'all think. What do y'all think about the Tony Harrison possibly fighting Tszyu? But you know, that's all I got. It's your OG, Mr. Mont. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, and I'm out.